If I was getting started in real estate today, I might do it a little bit different than I did it back in 2010 when I really got rolling as a solo agent. This is Ron Wysokarski for the Black Hole of Real Estate, and I absolutely set out to build a team. However, that means working solo meal for a little bit. So the first 6, 8, 9 months, it was just me. And what that involved, expired listing calls, 100 or so a day, getting hung up, called every name in the book as you can imagine. But for me, being thick-skinned, if I got one or two people to say, hey, come on over, take a look at the house, that was good. Now, this is also a time when short sales absolutely ruled the day. Probably 70% of every listing out there was a short sale. The other thing I did was open houses, and me being a little stubborn, I did 2 a day, every day for the first 100 days at least. I ended up doing over 250 open houses in the first 100 days of my real estate career. So cold calling, open houses, and then I would door knock too, because why not? Once you finally get a listing, let people know that you're selling, the house down the street, or break into a neighborhood where you want to get to and also do that. And of course, then there's marketing, there's meetups, there's getting to know lenders and title companies and everything you need to know about the business. See, it all happens at that time. It's not what they teach you in real estate school, believe me. They are going to teach you things about core law and ethics, maybe a little math, and maybe a little case study, but mostly just the other stuff. I thought I was going to know the contracts and that was a big mistake. So, as I passed, when do we get to the part where you do the contracts? And oh, your broker will teach you that. Well, some do, some don't. Leave it at that. But then I went on and hired some help, and I got myself my first assistant and then a second one. And there's a lot of books out there that will tell you how to do it. But if you can hire administrative and marketing out when you're building, then that's probably a pretty good way to go before you hire other buyers agents or listing agents. That way you can maximize your revenue, because your most profitable time in real estate, unless you're really, really good, like the top 1% of the 1%, is when you're working solo with a couple of helpers. It just is that way. And as you add on team and layers, your job changes from sales into coach, trainer, mentor, yes, and recruiting, because you got to constantly recruit because people come and go. And then you got to hold it accountable, have meetings. You also have to provide leads. Oh yeah, that could get a little pricey too. So if I was doing it all over again today, quite honestly, I would find a team that had a lot of reviews, that had a presence on social media, was using a lot of video and a lot of state-of-the-art tech to make sure that there was a constant supply of leads coming in that I could make money on as I learned and built my business acumen. You're not going to make all the money when you're doing it that way, but do you want to make the highest percentage on a couple of deals, or do you want to make a smaller percentage and do several dozen deals in your first year? Because that experience is what's going to help you and grow your business faster, as well as the way that you conduct your business on every single appointment. Your conversion rate is going to go higher with the more at-bats that you get. So doing 1 or 2 deals a year and making a lot, okay. That's a way to do it. But what if you did 40 or 50 deals in 1 year? That might be 20 or 25 years experience for the average agent, when most people are doing 3 or 4 deals in a year. So there's a lot of ways to approach this. Now, I may live in a little bit of transparency and let the people know that I do have a goal someday of running my own business or building my own team. And a smart business owner won't be threatened by that. What they will say is, hey, you know what? I'm not going to be doing this forever. What if we just kept growing this together? And at some point, maybe you just take over and I'll either retire or go on to something else or build something else. There is a way to take over somebody else's team rather than going out and building or buying your own. Maybe you can help grow it in such a way that you could take it over, and then that could become your team. If the culture and the growth and all the media stuff is already in place and you've been working there, that might be the best option for you. By the way, I'm always hiring. Someone's going to take over this business one of these days, maybe not this year or next year, but at some point, whoever's in on the ground floor and really wants the opportunity, hey, I'd be open-minded. And I think a lot of team members that have their teams in place and doing well would absolutely do that. By the way, if the team's not doing well and there's no profit, ask to see the P&L. Then maybe there's not a good place to go to. If they're selling a lot of homes and not making a profit, that's a bad sign for any business, let alone real estate. So I've given you a little bit to think about right now. But for me, if I was starting all over again today, I would probably just join a team, learn the ropes, minimize my risk, and maximize my top side over time by learning and training and being mentored under great business operators. That's the way that I think it should play out. If you got questions, I know a thing or two about this, and I know the building blocks that have to happen to build a business. And I'm even telling you, it might be better to start with somebody else and go from there. This is Ron Wojciechowski for the Black Hole of Real Estate.